you after. Oof, it's a bit big. Oopsie. Good morning. It's Ros here. And yes, I'm playing with buttons again. And I'm having a bit of fun. What I've got is my iPhone as one of the cameras. So here we go. I'm going to shift over to that. So this is where this camera is, the iPhone. So it's taken a little bit of fiddling around for it to work well enough in what I'm doing. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to be zooming in or out or what, because it's interesting using a iPhone as the camera, I can tell you. So let's get started. Oh, I haven't started. Yeah, that one hasn't started. The Restream has. My BeLive didn't. Hold on. I've just got to get started again. So I might have to edit this one. Let's see what comes up. And something didn't work there. Oopsie, oopsie. Oh dear. Yeah. Good morning, Marie. How are you? Not sure what page you're on. I think you might be on the... Yeah, the page. Look, it doesn't matter. You're here. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I've started the stream. What happened was one started before the other one didn't, and it was supposed to. So, yeah, unfortunately, they're going to be in different timings. Well, I've started again, so to speak, and hoping that the sound is coming through. Can you hear me, Marie? Because I have... yeah, you're on Facebook, Marie, but it's the... Can you hear me for starters? Because I've been pressing some buttons and I'm using my iPhone as the camera for this one. And I'll show you that. So here is the camera. Good. And is it echoing or is it not? That was the other question. So thank you for that, Marie. Because you're the first one here. I haven't got others on the other one. Ah, Kim, good morning. Yes, we meet again. Isn't it lovely? I love being here doing these live streams. So you hear me, but is there an echo? I'm hoping there's not an echo because I have got two microphones going. Oh, great. No echo. Thank you so much, Marie. That's lovely. Now, I know I've got someone watching on my time or YouTube. I don't know which. I have got a couple watching the BeLive, and that's delayed. The little delayed start I had there was a bit interesting, so apologies for that. And all good? Oh, great. Thank you for that. And good morning to you, Facebook user. Good morning, Kirsten. Wonderful to see you here. So I'm assuming those who have the names there are on my rosboundy page, which is the business page, the Facebook page, whereas the Facebook user that shows up without a face is on my profile, which is nothing wrong with that. It's absolutely quite perfectly okay to be there watching that way. I'm just going to go quickly into the back end of the Facebook, not back end, the page, so that I can see which one it is I'm looking at. Yeah, it is. All good. So it's the page that is showing up the comments, and it would be the Facebook profile that's only showing the, the comment itself. So, which is fine too. And I'm just trying to find where the heck that shows up in the stream, which it's not. So I'm wondering if that's actually going to my card reading group, which is highly possible, which won't show up the name either. So I'm just going to quickly shift that over there. Thank you so much, you guys, for being patient, because I am finessing this so I don't keep doing this. I don't like to keep doing this. Christine, you are the one who is on the card reading group, so good morning to you. I'll just leave that there in the background. It might pay for you to pop over to the @rosboundy page or the mytimetv.live. Then I actually get to see the comments in the background, okay? And I can put them on the stream like I am here. Right, that's assuming Facebook has fixed the issue that they had with live streaming for third-party apps, because that's what this is. Now, as you can see, this looks a little smaller than usual. And that's because what I've got going at the moment is a slightly different streaming feature of using my iPhone as the camera, and it's the first time I've done it with this morning, as you will have noticed, and it's showing up a lot smaller in that visible screen. Now, I don't know whether I can bring it up to a bigger size or not. I've chosen for it to fill screen, so that might be that it fills the screen of the actual iPhone, not my screen. So it is going to look a little smaller. I may or may not continue using this way, because the other webcam really is a lot better being able to manipulate the screen. This isn't quite so much, but we're going to go into a reading. Now, I'm not sure if I can. Let's see if I can. Here we can go into at least some of the bigger look. I haven't got as much flexibility on the actual phone sitting there as I was hoping. But what I've started with this morning is choosing a central card, and it's from this book. Now that I've zoomed in, I need to zoom out. Hang on, let me show you here this way. What I can do with this is drop me out. Let me do that like that. Oh, no, I don't want that. I want this one, because I've still got all the webcams here. There, that's the book that I've used. This is not the book. This is the card deck I've used for this central card. It is the Australian Wildlife Wisdom, Book of Knowledge and Wisdom Cards by Trevor and Sue O'Sullivan. So it's Australian Book of Wisdom from that deck, and they're called Australian Wildlife Wisdom Cards. I have no idea how long I've had this deck, but it is a lovely deck of cards, and the one that I just wanted to put that in there, I wanted to put that in there as the central card today, to give that foundation, just for something different. You know that I like to do something different with the weekend readings. So I'll put myself back there, and I might even make myself a bit bigger. Not that face. I didn't realise how severe my hair back. It's just in a ponytail. I didn't realise how severe it actually looks, but who cares? It's different. Now, Kirsten, did I say hello to you? Good morning to you? Yes, I did, I think. So, good morning, Rosie. Lovely to have you here. And so with this one, what was chosen was the ant, and it's a jumper ant. Now, I haven't used this deck for yonks. I probably open it up. I do like it. Open it up and used it once or twice, and that's where it's left it, because I got more into discovering other card decks. You know how we go through phases sometimes, and I bought lots of different decks. I should get all of them out for you at one point. And part of that was because I was choosing decks to sell in my book, not way back in 2005 and 6, those couple of years. So what we have here is the jumper ant reading. I am going to read, I hope you don't mind me indulging me in reading the full meaning of this jumper ant card. So I'm wondering if I can even zoom in a bit more and manipulate where I've got that held, so that you can see the fullness of that. Oh, I've still got the instructions on the there is some instructions on the camera when it comes up with the little app I'm using to make it a camera rather for live streaming. So the jumper ant is a warning. So Australia has many small and dangerous insects that can sting and bite. The sight of a small insect can bring a murmur of fear to even the most experienced local. So with the fertile human mind prone to create fear with just the expectation of the sting, our Aussie jumper ant is no exception. So with a body size of less than 2.5 centimetres, jumper ants' vibration incites a twitch of fear into the very heart of even the most weathered Aussie bushmen. Once bitten by this tiny mite, oh gee, I'm starting to go cross-eyed. I need my eyes checked, I think. Once bitten by this tiny mite, one is never able to forget his stinging bite. Within the ant family, jumper ant is the great Australian Olympian. Now, this tiny insect can jump from a standing start. He can spring forward 12 times his own body length, and to closely observe him brings a shiver to your spine. He mirrors your observation, watching your every move with a wicked intent in his tiny, alert eye. As you move, he'll watch in order to strike with a nasty surprise. So it looks like they're pretty intelligent. Jumper ant medicine is so strong for his size. He's mastered all that is needed for a terrorising reprise. Jumper ant's view says all for one and one for all. So he's the eternal Aussie musketeer as he stands and fights alongside his own kind. His pride in his army is strong. He says, our nest does not number thousands in size, but our strength is in the medicine that we use together to achieve our goal. Jumper ant builds an inverted conical hole in the earth to live. So by inverted conical, I dare say that's like the tower, the pinnacle at the top and the depth in the bottom. So he is perfectly suited to his home in the Australian scrub, and if he has come to your hand today, he brings with him a warning message that is clear to understand. So stand your ground and be strong, he suggests. Perhaps you're experiencing an uncomfortable situation or onslaught from someone or something that's threatening your situation right now. So Jumper Ant is telling you to watch closely, adjust your stance and be ready to make the first move. So he asks you to be like him and make sure you have a strong alliance with those who will support you when the going gets tough. So there is safety in numbers. Perhaps you have a pending legal challenge or difficulty with contracts and paperwork at this time. So he asks you to find appropriate legal or professional support, as you may only get one chance. So if perhaps you feel that someone is invading your personal space, it's time to inform them now to step back. Jumper Ant asks you to act now before your sting comes into play in response to your situation. So he brings to you the awareness of choice. Choose now to act and speak from this space of awareness before your sting causes you or others to suffer unnecessary and perhaps uncomfortable consequences. Perhaps his medicine is bringing to you the awareness that you're encroaching on someone else's territory. So it's the other side of the coin a bit too. So in his warning suggesting to you that it's time to make, I've got that one completely wrong, is his warning suggesting to you now that it's time for you to make a hasty retreat. So if Jumper Ant's warning has come too late, his teaching is in your hand today to forewarn you of future opportunities to act from awareness and consciousness before it is too late again. So when you recognise a similar situation in the future, Jumper Ant asks you to consider your options and take action to learn from your mistakes. So he also says, stand your ground and be strong when appropriate, run for the hill. So, the two sides, stand your ground or run. We all know the story of David and Goliath, so size certainly doesn't count. It's the sting of the bite that has the lasting effects. So do not let your sting or the sting of others come into play. You've got the chance now to act from wisdom. So that's the basis of what our Jumper Ant is telling us in this spread this morning. So I'm pleased that now I've got to work out how to go back down. I'm pleased that we could work out, have this little alternative, and I'm playing with the phone again. And I'll shrink myself down a little here too, so that I'm not quite so prominent, so that those who'd like to know that deck, you can certainly look it up to purchase it. Am I still visible in the full? That's it, good. Right, so the next thing that we've got here, and I forgot to bring I haven't even got my iPad in here this morning, so that's interesting. And Marie, that's happening for you right now, and your skin around your mouth is making you aware. Yeah, that's a good signal to have, isn't it? With the ant, they'd have their little antennas and very good eyesight, so having some sort of a sense that you can feel into as that pre-warning certainly is a bonus, isn't it? It's a good way to actually, have like a radar, isn't it? So I'm still wondering, how come I haven't got anyone present? I haven't got I'm sorry, I just got diverted. Before I go into the actual Lenormand cards, just think into what that jumping ant is letting you know for your day today. And I really do feel that, like, even in the mytimetv.live, BeLive isn't, I don't think there is an issue looking at that from what's happening. In mytimetv.live is not working. I think Facebook is having a huge issue with the live streaming into some places and spaces from the third-party software. I'm not using the native Facebook live stream. So unfortunately, those who may have been trying to watch on the mytimetv.live link, that isn't working. Certainly go across to, I'm just going to put a little note in there. So thank you for being indulgent of me. Go across to my @rosboundy page. The live stream is working there. Just in case there's someone else comes into the My Time. It's really weird how Facebook stuff's just not working fully properly at the moment. Anyway, that's part of what happens, isn't it? Right. So that's happening for you right now. Yeah, Rosie, I think you're actually on my page, not the mytimetv.live. So that's why I can see you. The BeLive one isn't working properly. So unfortunate. But that's something Facebook's going to have to really sort out, because there's a lot of live streaming platforms that use the connection, and if it's not working, something's got to happen, because there's many people that pay for the ability to go in via BeLive, StreamYard. Many of them. Ecamm can go directly, Restream itself. There's a lot of platforms that use it, so they'll have to fix it. Now, just to get that a bit more straighter, what we've got here is the gentleman. Now, I just placed them around this central energy of the jumper ant. So we're being given that message of awareness, that we need to be ready to move, whether we're going to stand our ground or have that, the action of running or retreating, because that's the best action. It's bringing some of that wisdom into that awareness, okay? So that's the message I just read out for the jumper ant, okay? So what we're going to, I'll just slip there. What I'm going to do, this is the first one that I actually laid down, was the letter. So I'll read the little verses that are on them, and then I'll just give a bit of a summary afterwards. And hopefully, just holding these up, I know I shake when I do it like this, but it's the only option I've got. Using the iPhone as a camera is okay, but it's hard to maneuver it. So, and the other thing I'm going to do is just take down that little widget, because we're not live on the My Time at the moment. It's just, actually, if I do this, I can adjust that sticky note, I think. So if I can just take that off for the moment, there. That fixes that a bit, doesn't it? So from here, what we've got is, am I looking towards the cards doing this? I am, aren't I? I have got another I have got the other webcam I've set up, but I haven't tuned it in. So with this letter, this surprise letter from a place remote brings good news from a friend who wrote, if the words portend a stormy sky, sadness will soon much intensify. So it depends on what's written in the letter as to whether it'll be happy or sad, which is pretty jolly obvious in my view. But a letter really is this in this context is more on that personal level. So I'm feeling that personal connection with the jumper ant in this reading. Now, I haven't sat here and analysed all this before we go live. I place them, I set the cameras, and I go live, okay? So they are as much a surprise in the context for me as they are for you, okay? So with the anchor, the next card that we're reading, it's really solidifying and it certainly supports the standing your ground. So the anchor's a sign of a stable event, basked in sunshine, secure and content. When the anchor's some distance away from you, hope will fade and leave life askew. So that last bit is more in relevance to the Grand Tableau card spread because it uses all of the Lenormand decks, and when the card is further away from the querent, that's when it's that message. So really it's just suggesting, yes, we are going to have security and contentment in this. Once we actually stand our ground is what I'm feeling from that one, because it is creating that stable event. And if we're standing our ground, we are stable, aren't we? We're holding our space and putting our boundaries in place as to what our expectations are and the intentions. So what we've got next is the house card, and I love this house. It's more like a castle, isn't it? Unless it's just referring to that teeny-weeny little bit at the front, but still looks like a castle. Anyway, a stately house beyond the gate to bestow stability upon your fate. In love and play, your chance to win depends on how you first begin. So it really is depending on our intentions in that respect. Have that intention to have the stability and the security of home. It's not just a house, we create our home. So what is your intention, home or house? And bringing into that space what you want to be in there, and that includes the energy of the people that you've got around and about you as well. Have those conversations that you're needing. If you're needing to, say something, say it and stand your ground. And here we've got the gentleman as a completion to this reading. So this principal card shows a man tried and true, held high in regard. He tells fortunes for you. And upon your behest, in the cards are read, if the cards are read well, the worst and the best the cards will foretell. So they're suggesting this is the fortune-telling gentleman. And, what we're doing here is it's not so much predicting a future, it's suggesting the possibilities, and that the energy around at the moment has more the emphasis around this awareness. As we know, we've got the awareness with this jumper, and that, be ready for those situations to stand our ground or retreat, and use that to our advantage in wisdom. We have that suggestion already by reading the guidebook, that with that suggestion use our wisdom to do what we feel is the best, and knowing that there is always consequences, especially if it resorts to ending up having that sting or the bite, that it could be painful. Some of those choices can be painful, but if we need to strike because there is that need, that remember there's consequences. So, as that summary, we are on this more personal level of standing up on our personal levels, standing our ground and solidifying that, holding it true like an anchor does. and is with what intentions around our home space. So I do feel that this reading is for our day-to-day on that personal level. It's not to do so much with the workspace. We've got this being a more personal reading for today. So feel into that. Feel into that, what your senses are telling you as you look through those cards. And if you need to replay it, there is that opportunity, as always. Replay it and turn on your senses yourself to gauge what the cards mean for you. Even regardless, turn off the sound and just look at what the cards are showing you. And, trust the messages that you're getting from your own spiritual guidance. I'm just but a suggestion, the way that I interpret is suggestions for you of what it might mean. And it could trigger other things for you that are more meaningful, and in context of what's around and about you in your life too. So thank you very much for being here this morning. It's a shame in some respects, the Facebook still hasn't been fixed for the live streamers feeding into it with third-party programs, but that's all right. I have still been able to do this using the Be Live into other pages, into other spaces on Facebook, just not where I really wanted it at my time, but hey, that's all right. I'll share it through afterwards, so that those on my time can still watch it there if they want. So so touch into your own expression of your own tools as well. You might be guided to some other tools that you want to delve into. The more that you're gaining that inner knowing and knowledge for yourself of the different tools that are around and about you, step into that's most effective for you and trust what Spirit's giving you. So I'll leave it there. I'll be here again. Look, I could be ad hoc through the day, whether it's HAPS, whether it's even Be Live Mobile or whatever. Just keep an eye out. Turn on the notifications if you want to watch me without missing some of the stuff that I'm doing. Do it live, or you can wait until you come up with what's the word? Ad hoc by surprise. So thank you for being here. Thank you, Kim. Have a great day yourself. It's a beautiful day here, and it is a Sunday, traditionally the day of rest, so enjoy whatever you choose to do through your day today. And thank you certainly to you as well, and that is, I've just got to have a peeky, Christine, thank you. So if you don't want me to mention your name, you can say so, because the factor of Privacy Act, and the ramifications this does have for us as live streamers is we need to be honouring, not saying names and things that you don't want to have mentioned and stuff, but we don't know unless we're told. Actually, I don't know how you'd tell me. Besides saying a message, don't mention my name. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting thought there, isn't it? So be the best you that you can be. And until tomorrow morning, I'll endeavour to be 8 o'clock still. And hopefully by the usual means, it just depends a bit on Facebook and our technology. We have it in wonderful ways that we can share. So thank you for being here. Namaste.